if you were to run into that, it would mess you up pretty bad. You can't stand more than a couple seconds inside of that melding curtain. So.
And as you were saying, this is a location you can explore.
Yep.
In game, it's just now it's in the arena PvP
That's
setting.
Exactly
so
right. You've been sent to an instance of this area.
Yeah.
But this area, Sunken Harbor, is one you can just run to as you're, wandering around the open world.
And while you are out in the open world, not in the PvP arenas, can you fight each other out there if you wanted to, like initiate some kind of combat?
No, we wanted to make sure that the open world was a co-op setting. We don't want people, being forced into a PvP if they don't want to be. And we are going to have open world PvP. It's not a question of if. It's just a question of when. But it's always going to be something that you opt into, not something that you get forced into.
So you won't have the type of experience where you're like, oh, I'm about to kill this extremely hard event boss or something like that. Right. And then somebody just comes up behind you and blasts a pistol into the side of your head.
That's not the goal of our PvP. Open world PvP can be incredibly exciting, really lucrative, a lot of fun. But if it's something you can do to anyone at any time, it can be actively unfun. So that's what we want to prevent. Yeah, you're not allowed to use thumpers in the middle of PvP. Nice try though.
So what kind of skills or abilities might be more useful in PvP than in PvE?
Well, this is a little more advanced character, so he's got multiple abilities. That one he just used there is called Afterburner. Whichever direction he's pointing, it just launches in. So it does, just incredible velocity in that direction. If he had saved it, it would have been really great to run down this recon now, but fortunately he was able to finish him off anyway. The other ability that he's currently got slotted is it's called Overcharge, and it's going to juice up his weapons for a little extra damage. And in fact, the more hits he gets over the 8 seconds of the Overcharge, the more damage it inflicts.
And can you swap those out actively?
You can only swap them out at loadout stations,
okay.
Which means you're not going to be able to swap them during the middle of a combat. That's really, you're going to use the loadout stations to build your loadouts before the fight, and then once you're in the fight, you're going to be swapping between the loadouts that you have pre-built.
Gotcha. And you're just you're doing the finish off mechanic there, just so they don't come in and try to revive them.
Yeah, exactly right. Because you guys don't get a point until that guy gets finished off. Now you see he saved his afterburner that time. Now he's running down that recon and is trying very hard to escape from him.
Are a majority of the weapons AOE based when they impact?
No, this is really the only AOE primary weapon. The recon uses a sniper rifle, and now he's just switched to a grenade launcher secondary. And those are the 2 AOE weapons in the game. Clearly, this loadout is designed around AOE.
Yeah, very mobile, and then you can really pick apart enemies even at a distance. Exactly. It seems like.
Well, with good enough aim and a little bit of movement prediction, you can guess where they're going to be and drop that splash. It's only about a 2.5 meter splash radius, so you do still have to be fairly accurate with it, but it's a little bit of leeway. And that's a crater, and unfortunately, he did it around 4 bad guys. Or good guys in this case, I should say.
Yeah. And the green beams we see blasting out, like that's
the medic using his healing beam. There's a couple different healing primary and secondary fires. The one he's using there is a lock-on beam. There's also an overhealing beam, which is a lock-on, and there's a healing grenade that you can fire.
Will that also heal enemies if you hit them with it?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's a smite weapon.
And when you say overhealing, that means you can basically heal someone above their maximum health?
That's correct. So the advantage of the overheal beam is that you can push them past the 100% of their health. There's that afterburner. It's just such a good ability in PvP. It lets you chase guys down. It lets you escape from tough situations.
How item and level dependent would you say PvP is?
Well, it can be. We like the game to be largely a horizontal progression, whereby you're unlocking new options. There is a certain amount of vertical progression, pure power, but and that's actually some feedback we got recently from our players, that they thought there was a little too much vertical progression, so we dialed it back. You know, again, that preference of ours to listen to our player base and get the feedback and just constantly tweak the game to make it better for everybody.
And as the system functions, if you were to, say, just start up in the game and immediately go to a PvP terminal and be like, okay, well, all I want to do is just PvP, would you get thrown into a game with max level characters and things like that, or?
Ideally, no. And that's a matchmaking issue. That can happen right now, and is, you know, one of the things we're working on. But no, that's not something that should be happening. You should be fighting against other people who are sort of in your tier of gear, and you know, it's not fun to think that you lost because the other guy just had better gear than you. So yeah, that's something that we're actively improving, actively working on, and you know, just making the game better.
Okay, because so the focus is mainly on keeping it skill based for PvP stuff.
Yeah, exactly right. At the end of the day, this is a skill based shooter. We want the emphasis to be on your skill and your tactical decisions, more so than just what gear you bring into the fight. Now he switched over to Recon, so obviously he's got a different set of abilities available. He's got one called Cryo Shot that, if you can hit with it, is going to freeze his target and slow him down for about 5 seconds. Very effective. He's got another one, the Cryo Shot that we showed earlier, and then he's got a long-range mine that he can fire, and it'll stick to any surface and explode when an enemy goes running by.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's a little example of our PvP.
Cool, and it looks like whatever frames you used in combat, whatever loadouts you used, all of those gain experience.
That's exactly right, because you're gaining experience while you're performing the actions. When you get a kill as an assault, you get the XP right then. And then you get a bonus at the end, obviously, with whatever frame you were wearing at the end.
Cool. Well, thanks for giving us a look at PvP.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
yeah, this has been Firefall, an upcoming. I don't want to call it an MMO because I know that's not exactly what it is.
Online action shooter.
Online action shooter with PvE and PvP elements.
And open world and RTS elements and progression and yeah, just a little bit of everything.
Wait, what are the RTS elements?
Well, remember how I told you about the whole dynamic thing with the Chosen? So the Chosen are setting up establishments. They're setting up encampments and moving towards you, and you're setting up counters. Establishments. Looks like he's auto-queuing into another match, and he should probably bail out of that. Yeah, that's not going to be enough. This might be a time to log out.
Okay, so there are RTS elements.
Yeah, there's RTS. You're going to see the Chosen. The way the Chosen move through the world and establish their stuff is the best way to put it is as an RTS. The players, where the player is one of the pieces, right? And you're going to be going out and gathering, capturing towers, defeating outposts, that sort of thing.
Cool. Well, yeah, we'll look for this later this year, and will it transition to open beta at some point, or is that basically a launch when that happens?
Yeah, that's effectively a launch. Like I said, we want it to be open to everyone who wants to play by the end of the year. But we're rapidly growing the size of the beta right now, and so I would suggest anyone who's interested should swing over to our forums and sign up.
Okay. Well, thanks for your time, and for more on Firefall, you can head over to IGN.